Welcome to episode 147. This is a case study about a website overhaul.
So-called MRO?
Yep, an MRO. Modernization, repair, and overhaul, right?
Yes.
So I'm Paula Williams.
I'm John Williams.
And we are AVCI, and AVCI's mission is...
Aside from MROs, is to help everybody in the aviation world sell more products and services.
Absolutely, and one of those things that we do is MROs. We used to call this our website refresh, but we realized that in the aviation industry, MRO is actually pretty appropriate. So modernization, websites get out of date pretty quickly, and repairs are always needed. Just like airplanes, things break all the time. Overhaul is something that should be scheduled maintenance that should be done on a fairly regular basis. So we recommend that you do an MRO or a website refresh every 3 years, or anytime it is not doing its three main jobs as well as it should.
And if you have this done with us, we have monitoring capabilities so that when things go wrong, like they did for us a couple of days ago,
right,
we had to fix our own website.
Exactly. So security is one of those things. There's a ton of things that we do in the process of that you may never know or care about. We just want to make sure that it keeps doing its main jobs really, really well. So websites do a lot of things for people these days, including make breakfast. There's a lot of vendors that you'll talk to that will tell you all of the amazing things, artificial intelligence and visitor tracking and all kinds of wonderful things. And we do that as well. We do a lot of those things as well for our customers that want them. So there's a lot of things that your website can and should do, taking some of the burden off of you in the sales process, right? So everything that you can, if we follow one of my favorite books is Tim Ferriss's 4-Hour Workweek, which has an absolutely absurd title, I think, but a lot of the contents of the book are really great. And one of the things that he talks about is that you should eliminate, automate, and delegate things that you can. And the process of automating things, there's a lot of software that can be used by and for your website that can automate a lot of the sales tasks that you do.
But you shouldn't get fooled by some website purveyors that that tell you it's real easy, and then you come to find out that you can't add or change SEO information, you can't easily add forms and so forth to the website. And we've got people who have used some of those people, and we end up redoing the website for them.
Right. In fact, we did a podcast at one point about, what do we think of some of the free and cheap website builders like Wix and Weebly and One-on-One My Website and GoDaddy's website builder and other things like that. And our answer is always the same. Does your website accomplish these three tasks? And in a lot of cases, the ones that are built with those free or cheap builders don't. And that is a problem. So if you can accomplish these tasks, it doesn't really matter what tools you use. We like WordPress because it does these really well, and it does a lot of automatic updating and things like that, and it keeps the site fresh over time.
And lets you, the user, get in there and mess around with it easily.
Exactly. So those three tasks are getting found using specific keywords, and in our last podcast we talked about the yellow pages and how this is just as important to be in the right category so that people find you. Number 2 is to educate prospective buyers, and number 3 is to get prospects to contact you. That's what we call inbound marketing, right?
Yes.
Where they're coming to you rather than having you chase them. May not eliminate the need for that, but every customer that calls you is a wonderful thing.
One less outgoing call you got to make.
Absolutely. Okay. So now we want to talk about a specific website that we just did an MRO for and how it accomplished those three things prior to the MRO and after the MRO, right?
Yep.
Okay. So this is the website of a fabulous young lady, Lindsay Dyer. She has a really interesting business. What she does is she and the people that work with her will provide dispatch services for very small flight departments that may not need a full-time dispatcher, which is really, really cool. There is a lot that goes on in a dispatcher's world that the rest of us have no clue about. There's calculating fuel prices, calculating distances, figuring out where you can get through customs, figuring out all of those bits and pieces to make the trip go flawlessly. And, there's always ground transportation and everything else. So those are the things that drive chief pilots around the bend, right?
Well, and if you're en route someplace and you need to divert for any reason, you give her a call and she'll take care of everything before you actually get there.
Right, exactly. Then you have to do all that work all over again. So it's crazy, but it is a specialty that she does for people that may not have a full dispatch department, right? Okay. So this is her old website, and I think did not do her credit as far as representing what she does. You wouldn't get that picture from visiting her website. And most people have the attention span of a goldfish, right?
Be nice now.
If it's not obvious what you do, and if it's not obvious how you can help, in the first 15 seconds of landing on a website, there are a whole list of other websites just a click away. Mm-hmm. So you're clicking back and you're going to the next one before this page fully loads, right? Okay. So how did it fit as far as being found for the specific keywords that we were looking for? And the specific keywords that it was found for, and we ran a report to show this, FAA flight scheduling software. And once again, we have 3 things that we look for as far as what category do you want to be listed under, right?
Yep.
And those 3 are relevance, popularity, and competition. So how well did flight scheduling software work for relevance? I think not all that well, because people who are looking for software are not looking for a person to do this job, right? Mm-hmm. As far as popularity goes, only 30 people a month are looking for it. And that is a problem because it's probably not popular enough to get enough traffic to this site that, statistically speaking, some of them would be good prospects for her.
Right.
Okay. And then we look at competition. So if we look up FAA flight scheduling software, she's not number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 10. She's actually number 47. So we'd have to be scrolling and scrolling and scrolling to get to the point where we would see this website.
Nobody would ever do that.
Exactly. So same thing, flight dispatch manual. Once again, I think it's not as relevant as it could be for that. Only 10 people a month are looking for it, and this website would rank number 53. And the last one, Corporate Aviation Association, 50 people per month are looking for that, and she would rank number 54 for that. So not in the right categories, and for 3 reasons: relevance, popularity, and competition, right?
Right.
Okay. So the new website hasn't been up long enough to tell about competition, but as far as relevance goes, since it's a new website, we can choose any keywords we want, right?
Of course.
And so based on relevance, which keywords should we be found under, or should she be found under? Flight scheduling. 826 people a month are looking for that, so that's a pretty big improvement.
Yes, it is.
Okay, flight dispatching, 720 people a month are looking for that. And flight dispatch manual actually is pretty relevant for her because she does those. She builds them for flight departments. And she wants every one of those 10 people. So sometimes you may pick one because it's really, really relevant, even though there's not a lot of competition.
Right.
Right? Okay. So old website versus new website. We'll keep you posted as far as how it performs on those keywords, but I think it will do pretty well.
Of course it will.
Of course it will.
We did it.
We did it. Exactly.
We'll make sure it does.
We'll make sure it does. That is our mission in life. So, once again, 3 jobs that a website has to do: being found in the right categories. Number 2 is educating prospective buyers. And there are 2 really cool things that Lindsay has done on her old website that we liked. One is that she created a blog, and here it's called Open Wisdom, which is a really great idea, and it's got some really cool stuff in there, and I'll show you that in just a minute. The other thing is she put some resources together, like a list of the scheduling software that people can use for dispatching, and the software that she likes to work with and why, which is really great information for the right people. So she's thinking in the right way, and let me show you what this looks like. This is the best thing about her old website, is this blog. She's got some great articles here about like sourcing jet fuel for business aircraft, which is a topic that I had no idea how they decide those kinds of things, or what you need to think about when you source jet fuel for business aircraft. And it also positions Lindsay as an expert in the field because she knows clearly how to source jet fuel and what questions to ask and how to make that the most convenient and the most effective and the least expensive for a customer, right?
Yes.
Okay. So that's how her old website was educating customers, and we stole those things. This is one of the things that we do when we do a website MRO, is we do a checklist on your old website of 31 different things that we look for that would be industry standard or optimal for a website. And if your website's already doing really well at some of those things, we want to make sure that we keep those. And
You don't want to fix something that's not broken.
absolutely. Rule number 1, right? The Hippocratic Oath, do no harm. Rule number 2 is do some good. Okay. All right. So the new website has all of that plus some more stuff. You know, this is actually from MBAA schedulers and dispatchers list. It's been adapted quite a bit of things that a dispatcher does. And a lot of people had no idea that dispatchers do all of these things. Who knew? I didn't. A lot of dispatchers do. But once again, people who are in the market for a dispatcher may not be aware of all of that. So that really helps educate customers. Third thing is, how do you get prospects to contact you? From the old website, there's not really any way, this is the first page that you see when you load the website. If you go to the bottom, it did have some contact information, but we really want to make that more prominent so that people who just want to talk to somebody can do that while they're inspired to do so, rather than clicking away to one of those other 47 websites that were listed under this category, right?
Exactly.
Okay. So on the new website, we've got a click to call in the upper left-hand corner. And if you look at this website on a telephone or on a cell phone, nobody uses a telephone these days. On a cell phone, that click to call number is right under your thumb as the website loads. And so all you have to do is put your thumb down and it is calling Lindsay. Okay. This also has some of the social media, Facebook and LinkedIn. If you are a user of those things, you can contact her through those things. And also a call to action, what we call a call to action button at the bottom of that first page. So after you've read a little bit and now you're inspired to get in touch and to get started, you click that button. Exactly. And it goes to a contact form that requests some different information that she needs to figure out how to help you, right? Okay. Cool. So 3 things. What should my website do for me? Get found using specific keywords, educate prospective buyers, and get prospects to contact you, right?
Exactly.
Okay. So is your website due for an MRO? If it doesn't do those 3 things, then I would say the answer is probably yes.
And if somebody came in late on the thing, the MRO stands for?
Modernization, repair, and overhaul. And these are aviation people. They know
With
that
respect to websites.
Absolutely. Same thing. So every 3 years, or whenever you suspect that it isn't doing its main jobs as well as it could, right? Okay. So you can get a free website audit on our website, and we'll give you our top 3 ideas of the top 3 priorities, things that need to be done to get your website up to speed. We'll also do a competitive analysis with up to 3 of your competitors. We have a theme here of 3. Three things your website should do, 3 ideas, 3 competitors, and we'll do a competitive analysis of how your website stacks up to those competitors and who you may be losing business to because your website isn't doing its job as well as it could. So if you want to just talk to us and you don't necessarily want to go through that process, you can just click the Let's Talk button in the lower left-hand corner of our front page of our website, or you can call us using the Click to Call button at 702-987-1679, and let's talk about, we can schedule 30 minutes when it's convenient for you, and we would like to do an audit of your website so that we can figure out how well that's working for you. The industry would be doing so much better if everybody's websites were functional. Don't you think?
You think?
Yeah. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
Have a great day.